Hey yo, what's up, y'all? It's Devontae back with another video. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Yeah, this video is actually coming earlier than expected because I said I was gonna do Friday on my last video, which is the Irish review for the match against Sparta. Go check that out for all my football fans. But I got some time, so let's do it today. My top 10 albums, my top 10 hip hop albums of 2024. So Devontae's list, not this one's list or that one's list, my list. So it's my opinion. And if you ain't down with that, there's nothing you can do. Oh, actually, there is like two things you can do about it, nothing to like it. So, yeah, 2024, this was to me one of the best years in hip hop's recent times, in recent hip hop history. Of course, I'm not going to compare it to like the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, of course, but like in recent times, absolutely. A lot of quality came out this year compared to, especially last year. Last year was lackluster and almost whack, I would say. Especially like because it was hip hop's, it was 50 years of hip hop last year, and for 50 years of hip hop, it was very lacking, I would say. The only albums that I can think of that dropped last year was Lloyd Banks' Halloween Havoc. 4, I like that one. Nas Magic 2, not 2, I didn't like 2. I like 3 more. 3, Magic 3 was dope. I think Lloyd Banks also released another album that year. I think it was a song with a 101 Razors song with the Method Man kid came out. I think Denzel Curry also dropped the album, was dope, but other than that, it wasn't much, I would say. But it doesn't really matter right now. So yeah, 2024, a much better year. There were definitely some albums that could have made my top 10, but unfortunately, you gotta margin it down to 10. This is top 10 list. So yeah, let's talk about some of the honorable mentions on here. Masta Ace, Richmond Hill. Now this is a continuation of his album that came out in 2018, Brooklyn Story. Love that album. That was one of my favorite albums that year. This is a little darker compared to Brooklyn Story, but it's still dope. Marco Polo on the beats, who's been working with Masta Ace for a while. Masta Ace is all when it comes to Masta Ace, he's also very consistent. Ever since his first album that came out in 1990, Take a Look Around, he's been dropping so many dope albums. And this one is dope as well. It had Deck on there as a feature, Coast Contra. They also dropped something this year, I think, Coast Contra, an EP. I forgot the name, but go check that out. So yeah, Masta Ace, Richmond Hill. Eminem, Death from Slim Shady. I think I said on a video, I think some videos ago about that I like this album, and I do. I think it was my Snoop Dogg Missionary album review. This was a dope album. I like this. This is definitely one of the better Eminem albums in recent times. The song Fuel with J.I.D., definitely one of the best songs of the year. J.I.D. with one of the best verses of the year. It just killed it. And even M killed it. M was spitting, but even J.I.D. was spitting as well. Some people say, M had a better verse or J.I.D. They both went hard, and this album's also quite dope, I would say. Lloyd Banks, Halloween Havoc 5. Lloyd Banks just keeps on going. He's continuing his consistency. Lloyd Banks, another solid production. I don't like Halloween Havoc 5 as much as 4, which was last year. So, but that doesn't mean it's a whack album or it's still dope. Then we got Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips. Definitely step up from his last album, Crash, which came out 2017, I think, or 2018. I didn't really like Crash as much, but this one was definitely a lot better. I didn't really listen to it a lot, but if I listened to it, it was solid, very solid. Benny the Butcher, Everybody Can't Go, and Summertime Butch. Now, I kind of started like not really like listening to a lot of Benny Butcher anymore because I just felt like the after Tan Talk 4 it was kind of like, it wasn't really a lot of projects that I liked. But this one was uh, not Everybody Can Go, which was like his major label debut, his Def Jam debut, which was okay, but I still wasn't really like impressed with what I heard on that album. Like it had some songs that I was bumping heavily, like what's the song? The song he had with Snoop Dogg, I forgot, like something with Gangsters Back in This Bitch Again or something like that. Jermaine's Graduation. The song with the 3 beat switches was fire. Like it had some songs, but I just wasn't like, oh yeah, Braun was cool. So it's like I wasn't really fully impressed. But Summertime Butch definitely was Benny, going back to like some old Benny stuff. Like I liked it a lot more. Summertime Butch. The rapping also like much better, I would say. Even though like not that Benny's regressing on the rap side, but like what I've noticed is like I just don't hear the same fire that I like Benny, that I fell in love with Benny's music for. Like when I heard Tana Talk 3, this one I was like, whoa. That's when I became a fan. But on Summertime Butch, I heard I felt that fire again. So I like that a lot more than Everybody Can Go. So yeah, Summertime Butch. LL Cool J, The Force. LL going strong for 40 years. 40 years. 1984. His first song came out when he was 16. Jeez. So this was actually, I like this album, but I have a love and hate relationship with this album because LL is spitting, but the production to me is kind of like, it throws it off. Because, LL is spitting like some hard shit, and then you got Q-Tip on the production, like doing some Herbie Hancock shit and doing some hooks. Like he's like, Q-Tip is like continuing where he left off on the Last Tribe album in terms of production. Like if you heard the Last Tribe album, Thank You for Your Service, then you know what I'm talking about. And I like the old school Q-Tip production a bit more, like the Tribe albums in the '90s, like some of the beats he did for Crooklyn Dodgers, Apache, Gangsta Bitch, Craig Mack, Get Down, like Nas, One Love, like those type of beats. I don't need to hear like that Herbie Hancock impression he's trying to do. No disrespect to Q-Tip, though. I still like Q-Tip as a producer and all that. But it's kind of like a hit and miss. And some beats I like on the album, but some beats are like, I just like, no, But that doesn't mean it's a bad album. It was close to making my top 10 just because of rapping alone, And I'm just happy to see LL Cool J, especially after that last album he did, like Authentic, which was like 11 years ago. Like that was some bullshit, man. That was doo-doo. And for him to finally come with like a solid album like this, I'm happy with it. Like LL's one of my favorite MCs for all time, one of my favorite artists. When I was young, I looked up to LL Cool J. I wear bucket hats because of him, and EPMD. Shout out to EPMD as well. I love Kangol because of LL Cool J. So Ransom, Lavish Mystery, produced by Harry Fraud. Ransom also released another album this year. Chaos Is My Ladder 2 with Conway. I didn't really like that as much as this. And also, like sometimes with Harry Fraud, I don't like the production, but on this album, it was the beats were good, and Ransom is always rapping. Like Ransom, one of my favorite rappers of the last 5 years. Like definitely top 5. Like Ransom is always spitting, and Ransom. Like this year, I went back to some like old school Ransom stuff, like the freestyles, like the Clue freestyles, the 18 with him and Hitchcock, like that type of stuff. I went back to that, and then we can go listen to Ransom in 2024. he's matured a lot, you know, especially also like with his lyricism and his flow as well. Like Ransom has gotten better, like just like Meth has also gotten better by age. Ransom as well. You know, shout out to Ransom. You know, and then last but not least, 38 Special Mother and Gun. This was close to making my top 10, very close, but just slightly missed it. Love like this album a lot, you know. Special been spinning for a while, you know, and production's dope. Yeah, another one is actually in my top 5 as well. Him and Ransom, you know. So yeah, that's my honorable mentions. Now let's get to the top 10. 10. Now y'all gonna be surprised because I've been scolding him for a minute. If y'all seen my videos about Drake and stuff, J. Cole. Yes, the Hercule Satan of rap. J. Cole might delete later. Now this was in heavy rotation for me when it came out, and even after the beef and stuff, like before the Port Antonio song when he was, you know, selling wolf tickets and telling fairy tales, like this was a heavy rotation. Pie, Pricey, Sticks and Stones, 3001. Oh yeah, he had some dope songs on there, man. It's Cole spitting. Like Cole, like listen, man, the thing is with Cole, like Cole's been one of my favorite artists ever since I've heard Friday Night Lights. So I'm not gonna lie to you that I never liked Cole, but I'm just so disappointed with the way that he handled the whole beef, you know. At the 7 Minute Drill thing, I could see why he stepped out of it because Schoolboy told him like, yo, it's gonna go somewhere you're not prepared for it. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you already went there with 7 Minute Drill, just might well like stand 10 toes down, you know, and just go have a friendly fade with Kendrick. Because Kendrick knows you don't have any ill will against him. But now with the way you handle the beef, of course Kendrick gonna look at you like a sucker. You know, I heard the shots on GNX. Like, don't get it twisted. We heard it. You know, and for you to do the Port Antonio song, because even before that song, like he had some features. I thought it was spitting. Like Pound for Pound, song with Daylight, something about collard greens or something, like play the collard greens. You know, we're not gonna talk about Grippy and stuff because Grippy was shitty. So yeah, but it still made my top 10 on my delete later. At 9 we got Skyzoo, Keep Me Company. Yeah, Skyzoo also been one of those consistent MCs over the years. I mean, you know, he dropped a lot of dope material, and I see why a lot of people wouldn't have like or pay attention to Skyzoo and his material because like the jazzy production and stuff, and some people might think he monotone, but I like Skyzoo. He's a very good lyricist, and the material is also very good. You know, like this album again is also like very good. The production, dope. Like the beats on it. Number 9 we got Skyzoo. Number 8. Now, this album actually came out 2 weeks ago, and some people I know are already gonna say like, how is this album in your top 10 when it just came out 2 weeks ago? Like, it's just that good. Snoop Dogg, Missionary. Yes, Snoop Dogg and Dre. Number 8. Now, this is just a dope album. And of course, some people like don't like it or they really like it. There's no in between. Like, because some people like had their expectations. Like, I've said it on my review that I expected like some G-Funk, you know. I expected that G-Funk sound. I expected some Dog Pound features, Lady of Rage features. What else? Like the East Side, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was expecting like that, you know. But at the same time, I knew that, you know, these guys are in their 50s, you know. Dre and Snoop are old. You know, they're not in their 20s, you know what I'm saying? So I knew they was gonna come with like from a more with more like adult content, you know, like more mature lyrics, you know, mature music, Also, production is going to be more cinematic and theatrical, which we've seen from Dre for years now. And so that's why wasn't really disappointed with Missionary, and I like it, man. Like I like it. Snoop's rapping is also very good on this album. Definitely one of his best lyrical displays uh, in a while. I mean, some people say he used ghostwriters on this album. I mean, I can't see it because some of the flows on here is like he would sound like he like some Crooked I or like some East Coast MC. I mean, Crooked I's from LBC, but I'm trying to say that it didn't sound very Snoopish. It sounded very unorthodox, I would say. Number 7, Rhapsody. Please Don't Cry. Rhapsody, her last album was also like 5 or 6 years ago. I forgot the name of the album, but it had a lady name because the theme of the album was like ladies, So, but yeah, Please Don't Cry, Rhapsody, dope album, loved it. Like Raw, that song with Lil Wayne was in heavy rotation for me this year. Like Wayne spitting, she spitting, And Wayne also had another solid feature with the song with Cordae. Even though I didn't like the stupid beat, that beat was stupid. But yeah, that song, heavy rotation, like D&D, dope. He Shot Me. What's another song? Back in My Bag. That song fire. That song fire. Yeah, this was a very good album from top to bottom. I think Felicia Rashad had some interludes on there or intermissions where she was speaking. Erykah Badu was on the album as well. Dope album, love it. Please Don't Cry, number 7. Number 6, The Dog Pound, We All We Got, WAWG. Now, this album, the people that I follow on Twitter, they were bumping this album heavy. And to me, this is one of the best produced albums of 2024. That the production on here is super dope. Like some of the beats are fire, man. Like like the song with the title song. Like they had a Juicy sample, like Sugar Free. I'm sugar free in the night. Like that AZ sampled as well for Sugar Hill, by the way. I'm sugar free. Go check that song out, man. That's a dope song. Dope 80s funk song. Y'all gotta check that one out. Y'all gonna love it. Trust me. Like, I'm a Dog. House Party. That's my favorite song on the album. House Party. Love that. That beat was absolutely bananas. After Hours is dope. Who the Hardest with that Who the Hardest is kind of like a throwback to like Stranded on Death Row and Serial Killer type vibes. So like Rage, RBX, Snoop had a verse where he had the line about like humbling, like K Dot and niggas humbling niggas and stuff like that. Rage had the best verse on that song. Like it was between her and Corrupt, because they had the lyricists, of course. But yeah, that's the only gripe I had with this album, that we didn't get a lot of like Corrupt lyrical displays, because I would love, like, of course, this was like a mature, like I said, my Snoop Dogg album review, like this album was very mature. Like you could tell, like it was a mature album with the content. Like there's not a lot of gangster stuff and all this stuff. So compared to Missionary, and the Dog Pound executed that much better than I would say Missionary did. Also, production is a little better than Missionary, I would say. But yeah, that's the only gripe I had, that we didn't get like Corrupt like battle rhymes. I love to hear like Corrupt spaz out and be on this lyrical shit. Like on Dog Food, right? There's songs like Dog Days Afternoon or something, or Psycho Like No, songs like that. We didn't have it, but I'm not disappointed with this album at all. Like, dope album, number 6. Number 5, now this was actually tough because it was like close to be my top 3. Lupe Fiasco, Samurai. Now, the concept of this album is kind of weird because he based it off like Amy Winehouse, like talking about she has some type of battle rounds or something, and she want to be a samurai or like I don't know what it is, Like, and he based the whole concept of the album off of that Amy Winehouse voice message she left for a producer. I forgot who the producer was, but she left a whole message about the voice message of like how she got battle rhymes and stuff, and she gonna take people out like a samurai. So that's like the concept of the album. Like Lupe got some weird concepts. Like he also like I think 3 years ago he released an album about dinosaurs or something. It's something like that, you know. But it doesn't take away that this is a great album. I loved it. The title track, Fire, Cake. Cake had like the second like Cake to me like that second verse is one of the best verses of the year. That second verse, he was going absolutely off. You know what I'm saying? And that was like one of the best Lupe verses I've ever heard in my life. That second verse was crazy, crazy. Even though some people say that the beat is kind of weird, but I like the beat. Just a dope album. Not too many songs on there. I think it's like 8 songs or 9 songs. But I love this album. Samurai is fire. Love it. Number 4. Benny the Butcher and 38 Spesh, Stabbed and Shot 2. This was in heavy rotation when it came out, and it still is. It still is. Benny the Butcher. Like I said, when he came out with Summertime Bush, like I said in my honorable mentions, you know, he got that fire back. And I felt like on this album, Benny definitely, like, I think it helped that he had 38 Spesh, like, with him. You know, because 38, you know, like, he's going to bring that fire on the mic, you know, and Benny needed somebody like that next to him to, like an equal to bring that fire back. Like, Benny was spitting on this album, and 38 as well. 38 and him, like, just going back and forth. Like, sometimes it's hard to tell who got the better of each other on this album. But I love this album, man. Stabbed and Shot 2. Maybe not as much as the previous Stabbed and Shot. Maybe. But man, it's definitely one of the best releases this year. Stabbed and Shot 2. I really loved it. Like the production, solid. Got Derringer, got V-Don, Harry Fraud. I think some other people that I might forget, but love this album. Love this album. Number 3, Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1. Now, this was an album that was kind of highly anticipated by hardcore hip hop fans. And I definitely was looking forward to it when I heard Wise Up and Dreamin'. And I wasn't disappointed with this album at all when it came out. Like, it definitely met my expectations. Even though as the year went by, you know, I didn't really listen to it as much because it kind of gets dull after a while, because, you know, Common is not a rah MC. You know, he's not going to spit like crazy, like, you know, gangster stuff, of course. And also the production is not really like what I'm used to from Pete Rock. You know, it's kind of more mellow. It wasn't like the like a upbeat Pete Rock type of production as much, you know, because he had some upbeat like Wise Up, Dreamin', Stellar. Stellar was, you know, Common was spitting on Stellar as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like Common wasn't spitting on this album, but I can see why some people would say, yo, I let it get bored after a while, but it's still a quality album. Very, very, very good. Common spit and Pete Rock production. I like, this is an unpopular opinion, by the way. A lot of people don't really talk about this, but I will. I think Pete Rock's beats, especially in the recent years, are better than Premier's beats. Some people might say like, no, because it holds a soft spot for Premier, like especially like the Gangstar material and some of the beats he did in the 90s, like Unbelievable, New York State of Mind, Kicking the Door, you know what I'm saying, like those beats, J. Rule's beats. But Pete Rock, his beats have been much better in the last years, you know. And even on this album, it's quality. It's quality. So number 3. Number 2, Freddie Gibbs. You Only Die Once. Now, this came out November, but this has been a heavy rotation, man. Like, Freddie Gibbs, like, his work has also been, like, for the last 12 years, he's dropped some dope albums. Pinata, what's the other album he did with Madlib? I forgot, man. Mañana? No, not Mañana. I forgot it, man. It's like, oh, fuck. But that was also one of, like, it had Flat Timmy T on it. I just forgot the name. I cannot come up with the name, but y'all know the album. Fuck, never mind. But, and then, like, the album he did with Alchemist, the Space Rabbit album or something. I think no, it's not Space Rabbit, but you know, the cover with the rabbit on there and the spaceship and stuff. They had a song called Space Rabbit in there. I forgot the name, man. Fuck. Yeah, but y'all know what I'm trying to talk about, like Freddie Gibbs. And this album, again, a solid, great album. Freddie Gibbs, of course, spitting, beats on there, dope. And yeah, I like Freddie Gibbs. Like he's just like, a lot of people play with Gibbs because he's kind of like turned out to being meme. You know, like for the last year, 2 years, you know, the beef with Benny the Butcher, and then like and some of the girls that he dated, like kind of like, you know, questionable. But I don't really care about that. I just care about his music, you know. And his music is just great. You Only Die Once is definitely one of the best albums that I've heard this year. Yeah, number 2. And number 1, I don't think this should not surprise y'all. Like, let's be honest. Come on. Who else but motherfucking K. Dot? Who else but Kendrick Lamar? Who else but Candyman? Who else but the King of the West Coast? Who else but Kendrick Lamar? GNX. And this also came out in November, and it's just been like this has not left my rotation at all. Like the whole album. I'm not even talking about like just 2 or 3 songs. I'm talking about the whole album. Phenomenal album, man. I just love this album, and Kendrick just had one of the best years I've seen from an artist in hip hop. Like this has been Kendrick's year. Like he didn't, like I said on my GNX review, he didn't have to drop this album. Like, just off of the beef alone, he would be the MVP of this year, and he is. And he still gave us an album. And he gave us great material. Like Squabble Up, Luther, TV Off, you know, Reincarnated. Even like Hey Now and Peekaboo, they getting heavy rotation as well. People make TikToks off that shit. Like, even the title track, GNX, like it gets played. You know what I'm saying? Like, Whacked Out Murals. This album is too good, bro. And I feel like this is just like a lot. This album is on a lot of people's lists, whether it's 1 or 4. Like, it's definitely on their list because it's just that good. It's just that good. GNX, number 1, you know. And that's how we close off the list of this year. And like I said, what was a solid year, one of the best years in recent times in hip hop. All these albums that I named, even like in the honorable mentions, are just solid. There's nothing whack in between. Just good albums. Yeah, like some of them are 5 mics, some of them are like 4 mics. The lowest I would give like one of these albums would be 3.5. But even then, it's just like good good material. A lot of good material. It was tough, but I finally was able to like cut it down to 10, and that will be my list. And I hope that for 2025 we're gonna see a lot more good stuff. Cause like I just wanted to continue. Like I just don't want like 1 year and then like 4 or 5 years later, then we're gonna have a year again, like 2024, in terms of like hip hop music. You know, it's like in the 90s, like you had 94, 95, 96, even 93. Let's not sleep on 1993. Doggy Style, Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers, Enter the Stage, Black Moon, Naughty by Nature, 1993, Souls of Mischief. Like I'm just naming a few albums. Like people sleep on 1993. Midnight Marauders, by the way, as well. And let's not forget about Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want 2025 to have that same quality as this year. You know, so let's hope for the best. With that being said, you know, subscribe to the channel. Let me know y'all favorite albums of the year. Your top 10, top 5. Just let me know in the comment section. Like the video, share the video. And with that being said, I am out.